Red Cross workers in Macedonia are struggling to assist thousands of refugees pouring across the border from Greece. The country has become a major transit point for refugees and migrants seeking to reach the European Union. Authorities are encouraging people to register at UN reception camps along the border, but most try to keep moving until they reach the EU. To learn more, I spoke earlier with the Macedonia Foreign Minister, Nikola Poposki, in the capital of Skopje.
Well, the situation in the country is pretty stable. The problem is that we still have important flows of migrants that are increasing, and this is going to be a challenge. If we keep this pace until the end of the year, probably it can become dramatic.
Of course, the story that's resonating today is the possibility that you might erect a fence. I mean, what are you thinking? What's being considered? What's on the table right now to try and deal with this influx?
We don't think that this is going to resolve the issue, of course. I think that the only way that we can handle this is that by tackling the root cause of the problem, and this is the fact that there is a pool of some 2 million people, migrants essentially from Syria and Iraq in Turkey, that will be seeking to some extent to reach some of the wealthier Western European countries. So probably one part of the action should be focused on the source, meaning stabilizing the situation in Syria, obviously. The other part would be that we need to have certain system of registration of these migrants that works.
Minister Poposki, your country took a lot of heat recently at the end of August because some of these people on this journey, there was a huge push. The response was tear gas, some rather ugly images. Describe for us, first of all, do you think the coverage on that was fair? And describe for us what the strain is for the people trying to deal with this influx.
The event that you have just described was 5 minutes during which we have faced roughly 12,000 migrants reaching Macedonian border and willing to cross it from a Greek side without any control. Obviously, police needed to intervene. This lasted very shortly, and what hasn't been described is that all of these people have received medical care, food, they have been harbored on Macedonian territory, and obviously they had the opportunity to apply for asylum. This is the serious challenge that we are facing, and probably, as I said, might become even more dramatic as numbers are increasing from day to day.
Talk about your country's stance on the EU's proposed quota system. How do you feel about it?
The answer to this, as I said, cannot be given or provided by only one country. The challenge about the quotas is only about a portion of these migrants. Probably the biggest problem is that the pressure is raising in the receiving countries, essentially Germany, that might be reaching very important numbers, and that from German side there is an expectation for a European solidarity on taking this burden or sharing this burden among member states.
What's needed from other countries? Should the United States be doing more? Of course, there's been a lot of talk about Gulf nations accepting more of these refugees, the UN. Where do you think help is needed?
Well, I don't think that any of the countries can handle the issue unless we have a solution on stabilizing Syria, and then obviously tackling the issue of people who are forced to leave their homes because of the threat of being killed back home. The second dimension is the economic migration, because part of these migrants are going for economic reasons. And this is something that results from the countries that are on the receiving end. I don't think that anybody can provide a solution to this challenge on the short run. Obviously, the United States is one of the major players on the world scale, so it can contribute to the solution, but the major challenge for us on the ground would be how to face the waves of migrants that are wishing to cross essentially our territory and then reach Germany and the other countries.